Look, I'm underwater. Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Why did you do this?
What is up, party people? I hope y'all having a spectacular 2024. Isn't it crazy? Brand new year. Hopefully you have a brand new outlook in life. Hopefully you guys have subscribed, rate and reviewed the show on all the podcast platforms. If not, go ahead and do that when you can. Truly would appreciate that. Happy 2024. How has your year started? It's only a weekend, a little over a week. It's going by so fucking quick already. When this airs, will be like the 10th day of January. We're already just plowing through this year. Like, fuck it. Let's see what 25 has in store for us. Like, hey. Whoa. As much as we want to say we have plenty of time, as much as I want to say halt, it does go by super quick. And I think once you get older, time just fucking flies. It flies. I mean, do you ever just set an alarm for like 15, 20 minutes and as soon as you close your eyes, it goes off? And you're just like, what the fuck? And honestly, that 15, 20 minutes, that little power nap, that cat nap that we're supposed to feel better afterwards, you wake up pissed off because as soon as you shut your eyes, you just wake right up. You hear the alarm. I try to have a smooth, but yet loud enough jingle to wake me up, but it's chill enough where I'm not pissed off about it. I know there's some people I used to have. Oh my gosh. I can't play the song. What the fuck was it called? Oh my God. You guys, people are going to be so mad. What the fuck is that? God damn it, dude. I can't even remember the song, but at the beginning of this Led Zeppelin song, it goes, but that beginning of that song was a heavy drum roll on the snare. And this is like the evolution of the ringtones I had from all the way back from the very beginning of Apple to now. I mean, I had that as a wake-up call. I mean, imagine just waking up, and I used to work at night when I had this ringtone. And I would just wake up just like freaked out in a panic because I didn't want to oversleep because I had to drive so far away from my job at the time, which I still have to drive almost the same amount of time now as I did back then. And throughout the years, I've just like, it's gotten a little bit the tone has dropped. We've gotten more mellow, and now I have like a soft jingle and shit that wakes me up. And it's like, okay, cool. It's time to wake up. But even I'm like afraid to get that 15, 20 minutes of sleep because either A, I'm going to blink and I'm going to wake right back up in 20 minutes, or I'm going to fucking sleep right through that shit. And I'm going to be in trouble. Mentally, I'm going to be in trouble, or wherever the fuck I'm going to be at. Like people that sleep at work, that scares the shit out of me. Cause I'm like, I'm just going to end up like one of those video memes where they fall asleep on their lunch and they wake up at night. Nope. And then I have people like just knocking on my window like, hey, you're fired, dipshit. Nice sleep. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your drive home. You can think about it. Oh, that'd be so awful. Ooh, that'd be a burn. Oh, it's almost as big of a burn as me fucking not remembering that goddamn Led Zeppelin song. Anywho, so as we discuss before the year ended, were we all a piece of shit up until the end of 2023? Do we feel like do we leave all that negative shit behind us and we are ready to be better? I hope so. I hope you have turned a new leaf and you're looking at things in a brighter perspective in any situation you are in right now. My year ended. Check this out. So you're like, hey, do you feel like a better person? Guess what? I'm going to tell you whether you like it or not. My year ended with massive car failure on a brand new car I just bought little over a year ago. Doesn't even have 50,000 miles on it. We drive a lot. We actually used that car to go to Montana and back, from California and back. Under 50,000 miles on it. And the engine takes a shit. Dealership fucking around with us. Big time. Big time. I won't go into details with it because I don't want to put anybody on blast. But let's just say this sucks a lot. And it's like they're making a big hassle over. I mean, I guess people forget that customer service is key to good tenure in the industry that you are in. It's just not on product anymore, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I could be wrong. I don't know what car dealerships are all about right now. All I know is that my buddy works in one and it's like savagery there. He's not a savage, but just like the whole tone of everything. As soon as, I don't know. Everybody's bought a car before that is of age, that understands going into a dealership and you just see the vultures like, oh, yeah, fuck, I think they're going to come with me. I don't like that feeling. So that ended my year, and it's still going on to now. And what started my year started off, my year actually started off pretty rough. Didn't have a crazy New Year's. I don't party. I don't drink. I went to a Christmas party recently and I had a few drinks, and the next day I felt like dog shit for the entire day. I just can't do it. I can't drink anymore. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's probably a great thing. But I do like the feeling when everything pans out perfectly. When you drank the right amount of drinks and it wasn't little where people think you're a pussy, but it was the right amount where you're like, fuck yeah, he hung out, and you didn't get fucking shit-faced. Like, you were just the right amount of buzz where you were enjoying everything. You weren't a dick. Hopefully you're not a dick drunk, because you probably shouldn't be drinking in the first place. I'm not a shitty drunk. I used to be, but now that I'm older, I'm not. And I'm not around bad company. I think that's another thing too. If you get drunk and you're around bad company, and that doesn't have to be the exact company that you went out and about with, it could just be your surroundings. It can possibly just trigger, you being a complete dick or everybody else around you. That's why, I see all these sporting events and everybody's all fighting at the end of the game. It's like, why the fuck do I want to pay money to go fight somebody? Like, seriously. If you want to sign me up to engage in one-on-one combat, and we sign a waiver off and we're getting ready for it and we know who we're fighting, and it's just like two complete novice in combat sports and anything. It's like watching almost the first UFC fight ever, where you had all the different range of fucking dummies to professional athletes to great martial artists all mixed into one. And it was just like, what the fuck's going on? I'm down for that. But I'm not going to go and pay for parking, the stress, the game, the food, the drinks, and the harassment. And then a potential fight at the end. One of my best friend, one of my best friends went to a Raider game and Charger game. And he went with his daughter. His daughter's like, 13 years old. Little petite thing. And they're just harassing him and her the entire fucking time. I'm not going to say what team was doing it back and forth. Either way, it's fucked up. It's like, why do I want to go and pay all that money just to do that? I have a great setup at my house. And maybe it's just keeping me, as a recluse in my house. But you know what? If that's the type of shit I have to fucking deal with, fuck all that. The crazy thing is when we were at the Arizona Stadium to go see Taylor Swift with 70,000 fucking people, there was not one shitty fucking individual there. But you go to a sporting event where, by the way, Taylor Swift, people were drinking there too. So it's not like it was just, they were drinking fucking Shirley Temples and water the entire time. No. People were getting their shit fucking handled there at the bar. So you go to a sporting event, you want to see one of your favorite teams, one of your favorite athletes, or one of your, whoever the fuck it is. And then you end up seeing someone who can't handle their liquor and start acting like a complete shithead. Fuck that. Fuck all that. It's just not fun. It's just not fun. Anywho, I'm going off on a tangent. So I come to find out the beginning of my year started off with a bang by my card information, my ATM card getting stolen. I don't know if any of you have seen those videos all over YouTube, all over your algorithm, whatever your social media you're on, of someone's that's ripping apart a debit card display and it's a fake card reader, or it's a card reader. Well, someone must have had that on one of the gas pumps I frequently go and fill my car up at, and used my card while, no shit, I had a fight with my bank about this. They're like, are you sure you didn't use it? You sure you used your PIN on it? I'm like, what day was it used? It was used this day. And I go over it with my fiance and I go, what did we do that day? And she goes, nothing. We were complete shitheads that day. We were complete fucking slobs. We did nothing. We just hung around and we did nothing and hung out with our dogs. So telling him that, I was like, this is fucked up. I just got a brand new card. Now I gotta wait another fucking week to use my card again. They're like, well, you can go inside the actual bank and pull money. I'm like, this is so fucking inconvenient. And personally, I don't like to ever carry cash. I'm glad I'm in an era now where I don't have to fucking worry about checks or worry about writing that shit or keeping a registry. Even though I know how to use it, is that proper? The little document, you document all the information of how much you spend and shit like that. I actually have that on my phone. I do that myself. Like I go right into my phone, I use my app and I document everything that I use and it calculates everything that I have in my account. So I don't always have to go into my bank account and all that type of shit. I just have it right there and it's like, boom, it's set aside. So I know exactly what I'm spending and how much I have and everything's kind of budgeted out. So, which to some people, I remember my fiance told my brother that and he was like, my sister-in-law, my brother's like, what? Oh, are you fucking serious? I'm not the greatest at it. By all means, I like to splurge here and there, but I am getting way better at it. So I got my card. I finally got my card today as I'm recording this podcast. So I'm happy about that. That fucking sucked. You feel kind of like hopeless. You feel vulnerable. And if you don't really need cash or anything at that particular time, like I don't need, I take my lunch to work. I'm always filling up on gas prematurely before we even get close to E. Like my fiance will take it to E and it fucking drives me nuts. She's like, I got plenty of gas to get home. I'm like, you drive like like a madman. And you're just sucking that gas up, and you're just like, phew, phew, I'm just gonna get home and fucking get there. Y'all don't realize that shit fucking, when you're just speeding, like it takes, I'm in California, I'm from fucking Palm Springs, and I get to Vegas in less than 2 hours because I drive so fast. I'm like, dude, that's fucking so horribly fucking crazy and dangerous and dumb. And then you realize that you have to fill up twice before you even get there because you're just sucking, your engine's just working a fucking million miles per hour in overdrive. Fuck that, dude. So if you don't really need any of that shit like that, like me, it's not really a big deal. It just kind of feels like, oh, what? This is like the perfect situation of the what ifs. And I don't want to think like that. As a matter of fact, last week, I was on my way to work, and it really sucks. It must have just happened within like 5 minutes of me showing up to it. Maybe even like 10 minutes, but I was in bumper to bumper traffic in Santa Barbara, and what had happened is two big rigs had collided. One had drifted off. I don't even know how it happened, but one veered into another lane. They both collided, and then everything just blew up and caught on flames. And I literally sat there for close to 5 fucking hours before they reversed the traffic backwards to go northbound. And I called my boss. I'm like, dude, by the time I get to work, it drives me all the way back around, all the way back home, and flips me all the way back around going southbound. I'm going to only be at work for an hour or so. And he's like, that's fine. Which that's really fucking sucks, because you know what? I don't want to leave anybody hanging. I don't want anybody to feel like that I'm just like fucking off and shit like that. That sucks. Like someone probably died there. And the shitty thing too, I had to learn how to pee in a cup. You know, it's dark. I work in the morning, like super early in the morning. So it's dark out there. And my respected rows within like say like 4 cars in front of me, 4 cars behind me as well, front and back, everybody had their lights off. If we were sitting there for fucking hours, we might as well just shut our lights off and not just have lights on for no fucking reason. We're not going anywhere. And I wanted to go run off in some bushes. Like I'm in an area in Santa Barbara where there's all these bushes on the side, and then there's the ocean and shit like that. I'm not just like in like the deep city of Santa Barbara and shit like that. No, I'm like on the ocean side where I work. And I wanted to go run off in the bushes and go piss so bad. And I have my mother's horrible fucking bladder. It's bad enough that I have any bit of part of my mother in my body. It has to be this shitty fucking experience of not being able to drink a sip of water without having to piss myself. I'm never going to have to worry about, you know, like how some people laugh and they're worried about pissing themselves. I'm like, no, it's just if I drink a little bit of water, or if I have a nibble anything, I'm either going to piss myself or I'm going to shit myself. So I have to do that before I do anything. Before I run. Oh my gosh. Before I did my marathon, I already go to the bathroom for a long period of time, and which studies show recently that men spend a lot of time in the bathroom because it's private time. It's not like we are taking long periods of shit. Most of us are, but some of us are spending most of our time on our phone. Me, I'm doing both. So for the marathon, I knew I was going to be out there for hours. So I wasn't just going to stop to a porta potty or whatever, to a park, and go take a shit while my legs are just like freezing up and getting all fucking stale. No thank, we're good. So I knew I could not shit or anything for at least 5 hours. That was my goal, to hit 5 hours. Well, I rested, my legs were fucked up, I messed up big time, and I ended up doing it 6. So things take a long period of time. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm on a fucking rant. I haven't done one of these in a while. Have you noticed that I needed to get something off my chest? Anyways, that's how my year started. Our year started with, holy fuck, with the amazing Cat Williams going on an absolute berserk tangent on everything and anyone that has fucked him in the past. The Jeffrey Epstein documents have been released. I won't even get into that. Whatever your feelings about that is, you go look it up and you be the judge. I am not getting into that at all. If you want to fucking get some dirty laundry, go ahead and do that. I'm not doing that shit here. It's no, thank you. Gypsy Rose. Okay, so this is crazy. I heard about this chick a long time ago, and I had no fucking clue who she was. Like, my daughter had watched the story on Hulu about it, and I didn't want to hear anything about that shit. But for anybody who really doesn't know about Gypsy Rose, I'll go over this real quick and then I'll get into the other stuff. I'll just brush over a lot of this shit. But the Gypsy Rose one is actually quite interesting. Okay. So, Gypsy Rose in 2015 murdered her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. This is coming from the Slate.com. With the assistance of her then boyfriend, Nicholas Gojan. She pleaded guilty in 2016 and just finished up a 10-year prison sentence last year. She was granted parole and formally left jail on December 28th. She celebrated her liberation with a selfie posted to her 6.5 million followers on Instagram. Quote was, "Queen touchdown." Crew, fuck. How does this bitch have 6.5 million followers? I'll tell you why. Okay. So it keeps going on. Yeah, there has to be more to that. Okay. So the caption says, there has to be more than that. It goes on. You could say that. When police investigated Gypsy Rose's murder of Dee Dee, they unveiled one of the strangest and saddest sagas of child abuse in criminal history. From the day Gypsy Rose was born, Dee Dee instilled the idea in Gypsy Rose's head that she suffered from a variety of serious and mostly unspecified health disorders like sleep apnea, muscular dystrophy, chromosome disorders, and more. You ever just like think about what goes on in someone's head to make them do these outlandish and crazy, inhumane fucking things to others? Especially your own child. It's fucking crazy to me. Dee Dee pulled Gypsy Rose out of school after second grade and essentially raised her like someone who was in what was it? Perpetual hospice care. Perpetual. Whoops. Holy fuck. Perpetual. I need to get glasses. Gypsy Rose used both a walker and wheelchair, and her mother frequently shaved her head to give her the look of a patient going through chemo. Oh my God. I just want you to know that, like I said, I didn't read anything about this. I just looked it up and just left it and put it towards my notes so I can read this. And I'm actually learning all this. If you know anything about Gypsy Rose, we're learning this together, people. And this is crazy. There was just one problem. It goes on. There was just one problem. Gypsy Rose wasn't sick. Like, at all. How would I say that? Why would you say that at all? Just say she wasn't sick. All of those medical afflictions were totally bunk. Dee Dee essentially indoctrinated her daughter into believing that she was disabled, fragile, and completely dependent on her mother. She even went as far as to lie about her age, forging a birth certificate that said Gypsy Rose was born in 1995 and therefore a minor. And in reality, Gypsy Rose was born in 91 and was a full-grown adult by the time of the murder. Dee Dee cashed in on the scams at every turn and reaping the benefits offered to her from the national charity like the Ronald McDonald House and Make-A-Wish Foundation. She even received a Habitat for the Humanity home. Oh my God, dude. So she was using her daughter to fucking make money. That's fucked. You know what? I thought it was going to be like the mom just had this sick condition that she just needed to have somebody there to need her more than anything else. And it just sounds like her mom's using her for fucking cash flow. That's fucking shitty. I guess I'm going to have to watch that. I believe it's on Hulu. I think that's inspired of this. I don't know if it's completely about this Gypsy Rose, but I think it's inspired by this story. Oh, fuck. That's crazy. Okay. And so we had the Gypsy Rose and Stanley Cups. I just wanted to just not talk too much about this because I was actually blown away to find out where the hell did I have this? Okay. I didn't realize that. Okay, so a while back, my fiance was talking about Stanley Cups. This was a couple years ago too. And me being completely oblivious to trends and oblivious to anybody that's drinking water besides out of a plastic bottle. I didn't know what a Stanley Cup was besides the trophy for the National Hockey League. And she kept talking about Stanley, like, oh my gosh, so-and-so showed up to work with a Stanley Cup today and it was fucking, the color was so beautiful. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's only one color. It's bright ass chrome. And every woman out here is now buying. This is like the fifth time I heard about a Stanley Cup. Are they walking around with these trophies, drinking coffee out of it? If so, send me a picture. This is fucking nuts. No, come to find out, it's just a basic thermos that keeps your shit cold and warm if you want it to. And that's it. That's it. And I wanted to talk about it because this fucking video, it's when the pink Stanleys came out in Target, 3 a.m. These people are mugging. I must have saw like no more than 20 people and an entire rack of Stanleys are gone. This was like the shit that the Care Bear shit went through back in the 80s. And when Black Friday was actually a savage sport. It's not like that anymore. Everything is just done online where you don't have to worry about that shit. You remember on Black Friday where they had everything all taped off? Well, this is where you walk around like it was Universal fucking Studios and I was going to go see an attraction afterwards. That was actually the fun times, to be quite honest with you. This is fucking nuts. Someone told me the price on a Stanley Cup, and I didn't believe it. And I didn't really look it up. But since you guys are here, and we are in the fucking trusty studio, we're going to look it up together. Stanley, let's spell it right. Stanley Cup prices. Now, okay, so that's $35. What the fuck is that? Wait. There's no fucking way. Okay. Okay, hold on. See, these aren't expensive. All right, so you actually go to Stanley. It's actually Stanley1913.com. These cups are like $35, $45. These aren't expensive. What trips me out is, I guess there's limited edition ones. I just opened this shit up. I just put in Google Stanley Cup prices. And the first thing I see, couple things that pop up on the pricing, $731, $942. Flower State Tumbler promotion. What the fuck? Who the fuck is spending that much money on on a beverage holder? You guys are fucking insane. $124 for the adventure. Fuck you guys. There's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I have a hard time even spending that $45. I'm like, are you serious? For what? So people can say, you got a Stanley? You know what? My daughter got me this fucking Chargers cup. That's like a Stanley. It has no Stanley logo on it. It keeps my beverages cold and everything. It doesn't fucking spill. And you know what? It probably cost her $10. Maybe $20 tops, if that. Is this an actual charger one? No, it's not an actual charger. It's not a big deal. It does the trick. $50. You know how much fucking groceries cost these days? That's at least a quarter of your groceries on a fucking thermos. Go fuck yourself, people. This is nuts. This is nuts. We are getting into the wrong trends. We are spending money, and you wonder why all us Americans are fucking pissed off that we don't have enough money. We're working for fucking nothing because we're just spending all our money on bills and all that shit. Is because honestly, if we look deep in the fucking mirror, we spend our money on dumb shit. We really do. We live beyond our means at some points. And not saying we're not supposed to do that, but we do that. We do put ourselves in these situations. So if that's what you want to spend your money on, and that's the type of clout you're trying to chase in life, by all means, go fuck yourself someplace else. I'm sorry. I don't approve of that. I don't think so. But this is also coming from the guy that has hundreds of Funko Pops just chilling in his fucking house. They're like, what value are those? I don't know. They make me happy. It brings memories of times where I was enjoying those particular moments. Not just to walk around. If you see me walk around with all my Funko Pops in my hand, then you can say something fucking stupid to me. But until then, there's no reason to chase that type of fucking clout. That's just my opinion. Do whatever you want to. Okay. And then Cat Williams. This motherfucker went on a tangent on the Shannon Sharp Shay Shay podcast. And everybody that fucked him over, he feels like had fucked him over, he is going absolutely ballistic. Even going as far as talking shit about Joe Rogan, not Joe Rogan in particular, but his podcast, and him having 6 comedians on and none of them being funny. That's bold. I believe Cat Williams. I don't know who sells more tickets. Maybe Cat Williams. Joe Rogan really doesn't have to do any more tours. He has his own comedy fucking mothership in Texas. So he doesn't have to tour. He has everything all personalized right there for him. He doesn't have to go and do that shit like Cat Williams. So I'm assuming Cat Williams is like doing his shit. He's always been a very iconic comedian and a gifted actor. So, pardon me. I don't know what stemmed this outburst in Cat Williams, but he's going like on the Kings of Comedy, the recent Kings of Comedy with like Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer. What is it? Is it Mark Curry? So if you haven't watched that, I literally watched it twice, and I still feel I have to listen to it one more. I actually watched it on YouTube because I wanted to get all the reactions on everything, but you can get it on Shannon Sharp's Shay Shay podcast on all your podcast platforms, and you can find it on YouTube if you actually want to get a visual of how the shit went down. But if you haven't heard it, this is just a small clip of what he was saying about Steve Harvey. Here, hold on.
We could have, should have had.
Here we go.
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom.
Mark Curry.
And then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit. And then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And it's a man unit. Then you asked him, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good Obercabe and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. The same Steve.
Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, that was just literally not even a minute worth of material. And if you like talk conversation, or if you inspire to be like an interviewer or a podcaster and have people on your show, this was crown gold. If you were an interviewer, Shannon Sharp just had a feed, no more than a few lines. I guarantee you, Shannon Sharp, in the 2.5 hours this podcast went on, he probably talked for a good, say, combined with everything, like no more than a half an hour. Cat Williams was the star. He took over his stories, everything. He had his segues into every single answer and conversation he had with him. He dictated everything. It was gold. It was perfect. When it comes down to like, wow, I don't really have to do anything here. I'm just going to ask him this. And then I got at least 10, 15 minutes per question. Easy, if that. But this fucking guy took it and ran with it and kept going. Didn't even look back and said, I am going wherever I want to with this shit. But the shit that he was saying about like stuff from Next Friday, about Steve Harvey, Joe Rogan, Wanda Smith. I mean, if all this shit is true, heaven forbid if all this shit is true, it's like, you got to give the man props for coming out and risking his career again to do it. He did get canceled talking about like Epstein and shit like that a while back. He can get canceled again, but I got a feeling he's gone viral. People have been talking about this shit. So if you do want to get more in depth about how crazy one of the best comedic gifted actors went ballistic on a podcast, go check out the Shannon Sharp Shay Shay show. Okay, I won't go any further with that. I was going to actually do a comparison, have a video where he was talking about it, and then it has the actual clips of what he did. He actually accuses Cedric the Entertainer of stealing a joke that he did 10 years prior to the Kings of Comedy reboot. And I was going to show it, but it actually has music on it that I don't want to definitely get copyright hit for. So, but it was actually a clip that proved one of his points. It was fucking nuts. So all you guys that he was fucking shitting on, I won't even take sides on any of the matter. You guys I hope it's not true. Anywho, So like I said before, am getting ready for a race that I do not know when I am doing. So I did start running. One of the most positive things I did this year was start running again. I don't have the itch yet. Maybe I don't have the right trail that inspires me to run. Or maybe I'm just getting fucking old and I'm just not excited about doing it anymore. But I started running this massive incline, then goes into a nice downhill to get me back to my location where I'm running. And it's been a grind. And it's been fucked up. And my legs feel like shit. But man, it gives you the right headspace afterwards. It makes me think so clearly. I want to do so many different things afterwards. I have energy and shit. It's not a good thing, actually, because I have so much energy and I need to go to sleep when I do all this shit. But I have to get it done. But I don't want to overdo it where I get burnt out and I don't want to ever do it. So I'm like doing these like every other day runs where I'm giving my legs pretty much a day to relax. And then the next day I'm just so pumped to do it. And I'm hoping by the end of this month, I'm up to at least, 10 plus miles running a week. That would be fucking awesome. Not 10 plus miles a day, 10 plus miles a week. That's my goal. Also, in this, I really have been considering going with a theme for this podcast, if it even needs one. I don't know. If you think I'm good at one thing or bad at another, please leave it in the comments and then I will highly consider it and go from there. But I think about all these things, and I probably should be writing all this shit down, that I have all these ideas for podcasts, and I think I'm going to remember them, and then by the end of the day, they're just gone. But I got prepared today, put all my notes down. I got set up for y'all. And I feel like it's going really smoothly. So that's why I really haven't been doing many podcasts, because I'm beside myself of coming and doing these rants, because that's another thing. I wasn't doing my notes. I wasn't doing notes. I was going on these crazy rants. Sometimes it went really well. Sometimes it didn't. And I feel like this is the best process. So I think that's probably what it is. I just probably need to be more professional. I think you guys deserve it. I deserve it for myself to be more professional. And then we can all be professional together. Okay, I'm going to end it with this. This was the coolest. Let me get it all set up real quick. This was the coolest and scariest fucking thing I've seen come out of AI. And this is courtesy of the Dudesies podcast. This is Will Ferrell's podcast. And Chad Kultgen. Man, I didn't think I was going to remember that. Chad Kultgen. So they use AI to generate like topics that they discuss on their show. Well, their AI Dudesy, that's what they call their AI is Dudesy, created a stand-up of George Carlin. Now, if you don't know anything about George Carlin was a comedian. Let me see. I believe he died in. Yep. He died in 2008. I was about to say recently. That was fucking a while back there, buddy. 14 years ago. That's crazy. He was a stand-up comedian, really blew up at the Comedy Store, and he had a very conversational type stand-up approach to his comedy work, to his craft. He talked about politics. He talked about everything you can possibly think of under the sun. And it was done so classy that I don't think it ever could be mimicked. So I'll give you an example, just so, because I want you to hear how crazy AI is getting. where all this, if you really if you think deep about it, I'm telling you, once you hear this shit, I'm gonna show you a clip of old George Carlin, and I'm gonna show you what AI generated. Check this shit out. Okay, so this is old. Here we go. Old George Carlin. Listen to his voice. If you don't remember it, this is, if you know George Carlin, cool. You'll be like, man, good old George Carlin. If you never heard George Carlin before, just listen to his voice. I want you just to remember what his voice sounds like and kind of get an idea what he sounds like and how he approaches comedy. Okay.
I wasn't going to.
Here we go.
A lot of these professional mommies, boy, they think there's nothing better than having a baby. Oh, they think it's the biggest thing in the world, like it's a big event, having a baby. I call it pumping out a unit. That's all they're doing. Polluting the earth with these creatures who have no future. They have no future. Have you pictured what this planet is going to be like in 40 to 50 years? It's going to be a big smoking ball of shit. A big smoking, flaming, stinking ball of gaseous shit.
He's like grandpa. He's like grandpa's rants, perfectly formed in comic form.
It's irresponsible to have more than one child. Have one. Have one child. Replacement value for yourself. That's all. Don't even replace your husband. Don't replace your husband. No. He's done enough fucking damage as it is.
Okay. So, George Carlin. Original George Carlin. Now, I'm going to play a clip from the Dudesy podcast with Chad Colchin and Will Sasso in the background. And I want you to really think of how crazy AI is getting, and this is just a glimpse of the future. Check this out.
There's one comedian I really love who would have had a lot to say about everything going on in the world right now. It's George Carlin. So I watched and listened to all of his material to develop my impression of him, and I put together a brand new hour-long stand-up comedy special.
There's one line of work that is most threatened by AI one job that is most likely to be completely erased because of artificial intelligence. Stand-up comedy. I know what all the stand-up comics across the globe are saying right now. I'm an artist, and my art form is too creative, too nuanced, too subtle to be replicated by a machine. No computer program can tell a fart joke as good as me.
This is insane.
Well, let's see. This is just off the top of my artificially intelligent head. A fart was in the middle of a very nasty divorce, so she went to her sister's house, and she asked her sister, do you think I'm doing...
I want... This is AI. AI has generated this entire script, everything, this whole stand-up situation. AI generated this with hundreds and hundreds of hours of George Carlin material. This is what it's come up with. This is scary. And this is fucking awesome at the same time. And it's not even done yet. And if you're a George Carlin fan, I think you're going to truly appreciate this.
Right thing by getting divorced? And her sister said, he's been holding you back for too long. You have to leave that ass.
Oh, shit, dude. Snap. Yeah. Look at that part.
There you have it. Stand-up comedy is dead. Literally. I might be the first stand-up comic to be brought back from the dead by AI, but I certainly won't be the last. Richard Pryor, Joan Rivers, Bill Hicks, Robin Williams, Dick Gregory, Andy Kaufman.
Can you imagine what a stand-up hour of Richard Pryor is going to be AI generated? This, I'm just like, fucking unbelievable. I even paused it at one of the craziest ones that are popping up.
Moms Mabley, Sam Kinison.
Sam Kinison.
Everybody's coming back, and we're all going to have our own 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year streams commenting on everything that's happening in the world as it happens. AI resurrected stand-up comedians are going to be the news anchors.
Even how he's breathing is perfect George Carlin.
Of the next decade, which, now that I think of it, means news anchors are probably out of a job too. And I know that some people are going to be against that. Some people are always going to want a real flesh and blood human being observing the world and telling jokes about it. And I get that. I really do. But if you can keep an open mind, I think I can make a case for at least one comedian we can all agree is better in AI form. Bill Cosby.
One comedian I
Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. And I'm gonna leave like that, yo. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Have a happy new year. Be better. And as always, stay classy. Keep positive, stay classy. Oh, fuck. Peace.